Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Damon Campbell with KarmaloopTV here in Detroit for the Vans Warped Tour 2015 with a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Bebe Rexha.
Great to meet you, Bebe. Definitely appreciate your time.
Thanks for talking to me.
Absolutely. Now, at first glance, some people might consider you to be maybe, a little outside of your element here on Warped. I understand you had a bit of trepidation yourself in the early going as well. But as far as I could tell, you're as much about rock as anyone here, at least from a, literal standpoint. Because if I'm not mistaken, when you were younger, you had opened up like an actual rock stand or something.
Yeah. So I mean, even like out here on tour, like I was really freaked out because I'm like, I don't have tattoos. I'm not a punk artist. I'm not a rock artist. I don't really consider myself rock at all. I love dance music, urban music. I love hip hop. I'm just like a lover of all kinds of music, like just great music. And I think the set live is just a little bit more rockified, just to kind of, it's more fun, but I think people really like it, and I'm not intimidated to be here anymore. I feel like very welcome by all the fans and the band. So.
Well, and you certainly held your own, but like when you were little, weren't you actually like selling rocks for a period of time?
Oh, selling rocks.
Like you had like a rock stand or something?
Oh, I thought you meant I had like a rock. I thought I heard you say I had a rock band. So I was like, I didn't. So let me like sideswipe that question.
Oh, well, thank you for not calling me out on it.
No, but I did have a rock stand. How did you know that?
I just try to come prepared.
Oh my gosh! So we would pick up rocks, and we, my next door neighbor, her name was Stephanie. She was my age, and we would pick up rocks, and we would take all of our mom's nail polishes. And we would nail polish, like color the rocks in.
Oh wow!
With nail polish colors, and we would probably get yelled at our moms, and we would sell the rocks for $1, and we actually made a lot of money off that because we like forced people because it was a busy street. We'd be like, you have to buy a rock. So I guess that makes me kind of rock.
Yeah, it gives you
rocky.
a little more edge there. Absolutely.
That was a cute question. That was a good one.
Thank
I like
you.
that.
Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. But did your dad think you were selling your soul at all when you started singing pop? Because didn't he see it as being like the devil's music or something?
Yeah, my dad was definitely not a fan of the pop world or like music, and like just anything besides classical music. Because I started out singing opera, classical songs, and he was like, "Yes, oh my God, this is awesome! My daughter's gonna go to Juilliard and like be a classically trained singer." And I was like, fuck this, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So I started like writing songs and going to the studio and like working with hip hop artists and like doing exactly what he didn't want.
Right.
And it was awesome. I don't know. So here I am.
Totally.
So he loves it now. So
Yeah.
he came to my show in New York and it was like over 1,000 people and he was like crying.
Wow.
He made me cry. I was like,
I
no,
saw something
Dad.
about that,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
So I was like really emotional. So it was like a moment for me to be like, wow, my dad actually finally
Absolutely.
really supports me.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
And back in the day, hadn't you actually performed in like a rock opera, Jesus Christ Superstar?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was a crazy time. I was like doing all these like little Broadway stuff, like in high school, but it was fun, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, Jesus Christ Superstar. That was crazy.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of superstars, was there really a time when you like shared your bathroom with Coldplay's Chris
Oh
Martin?
yeah, I was backstage and I was doing a show for like our iHeartRadio, and I'm like seeing all these people going in and out of the bathroom like super fast, and like what is going on? Not the bathroom, like the rooms, because there was a bigger room, but then there was a small room. So to get to the bigger dressing room, you had to go to the smaller dressing room.
Okay.
So out of nowhere, I see Chris Martin come by, and I'm like, "Are you serious?" Because he's like so awesome. I was like freaking out. And then like a minute later, he comes back and he knocks on the door. He's like, "Excuse me, can I use your bathroom? I really gotta pee, and my dressing room doesn't have a bathroom." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "If you take a selfie with me." I was like really low. I was really low with it. It's like, you know what? I'm like, I never really do this, so this is my moment.
Yeah,
it's like
totally.
you have to take a selfie with me.
Take advantage.
And I joke with everybody. I'm like, I used the bathroom right after. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Well, and kind of on a somewhat related note, is it also true that you actually used to record in like a booth with a pea-stained mattress or something?
Yeah, I was working with this guy. I forgot what his name was. His name was Cyril or something. He was French, and he came from the U.S. and we didn't have money at the time, and I couldn't afford a recording studio. So he had this like old mattress, and it actually works really well. You go to a corner of a room. No, it's like you can really especially if you're like an aspiring artist or like rapper or whatever it may be. Sure. You go, find a corner of a room. You set up your mic, obviously with all your stuff, and you put the mattress over the corner, so you have like a space to record.
Yeah.
And it actually blocks out all the sound, and it sounds
Yeah.
really good. But this mattress had like pee stains and like blood stains. It was just like
Kinda like
shit
your mic
stains.
tonight.
Yeah, it was just not fun. Like it smelled so bad.
Yeah.
So like between every take, I'd be like, and like singing, like I'd like try not to breathe through my nose. It was so bad.
And I mentioned her mic tonight. I don't think it was real blood. I think we established there was somebody's lipstick, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my mic. Oh, my mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went on stage today, and my mic had all. It looked like there was blood on my mic. I was
Yeah.
like, this is disgusting.
It was
So.
just the girl before you.
Yeah, it was another singer.
Speaking of mattresses, though, you know, given all that you've accomplished thus far, I suppose it could even be said that you could practically write hits in your sleep, which really wouldn't even be all that far-fetched since you used to sleep with your keyboard growing up.
Yeah. I would. I bought this really cheap keyboard from like a Costco or whatever. It was like I don't know how much it was, but like I saved up all my money for it, and I would like sleep next to it and like keep the like cord like in the wall, so it would always play. And sometimes I would roll over and make loud noises. But I would wake up in the middle of the night and like just write songs. I had ideas. It was kind of sickening, but like I slept with my keyboard.
That's awesome.
Good thing it was like a full-size bed, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, well, there you go. And, you know, one of your big co-writes, of course, being The Monster, which I believe was inspired when you came across, like, that quote or whatever about how, you know, we stop looking for the monsters under our bed when we realize that they're inside of us. But have you since then, you know, like, found any ways to kind of tame your inner beasts at all, or do you prefer to let them run wild? Because at the same time, I know your song, I'm going to Show You Crazy, is all about, like, self-acceptance and whatnot.
I don't know. I like to think that I can tame my inner craziness and like the voices inside of my head and all those like disbeliefs. But it's like a daily struggle.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you have days where you friggin' are like on top of the world, and the next day you get some news that's bad or whatever it may be in your life, because life's such a roller coaster, and you just fall back into the hole, and here you are again. So I feel like life is a cycle of that. You know, happy moments, and then slowly falling down, then crash, and then up higher. So I like to think that I can control them, but the honest truth is none of us really can. We have no control over anything in this world except ourselves. So,
For sure.
yeah.
And with The Monster, you know, although you received, I believe, like, you know, a BMI plaque for reaching #1 on Billboard, you didn't actually personally receive a Grammy when it won for Best Rap Song Collaboration. But you did get an award from the Grammy Foundation when you were younger for Let Me Know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I actually was part of this program called Grammy Career Day, and it was thrown by NARIS, which is like they basically throw all the Grammy stuff. So they had this, like, they do this thing every year where they go to schools and they'll pick a school, and they'll pick like the top teen song from all the high schools. And this one year there was like 700 entries, and I had one with my friends, and we had like this little girl group. It was so funny, called
Aloria?
Yeah, Aloria. Oh my God! I don't even know why we called it Aloria. It's so stupid.
Yeah, like, does that mean anything?
It's like I don't even know what it means. It just sounded pretty, and it's stupid. But we wrote the song called "Let Me Know" that had no structure whatsoever, but it was like it sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
So we won, and Chris Brown was there that year before his song even blew up, which was cool. So I had like met him and like a whole bunch of different people, and yeah, it's been like a crazy journey since. But that was really a good time for me because it was like 15 or 16. I never remember how old I was, but 15 or 16, and it kind of gave me that confidence to keep going, and that's why I think I'm where I'm at right now.
Totally. And like when is it also true that there were kids like who had taken and smashed your award in high school for like most likely to be successful in music? Or?
Yeah, I think like I don't know what it was. I think like most successful to be in music or most likely to become famous through music.
Yeah.
And when I went to school that day, because I was like bullied so much, when I went in school to pick up the award, it was like on the floor, smashed.
Oh,
like it was a plastic award, but it was like, to me it meant, you know, like the bottom is like marble, kind of, not really marble, but like kind of like a metal, like stone or something, and the top is like the plasticky gold part.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, because, you know, it was cool. And, you know, who wouldn't want to win an award from their peers? And it was on the floor, like in 1,000 pieces. I was so upset. I like ran home and like cried, and I didn't go to graduation or prom because of it.
Gosh.
And I regret that. I'm like, why didn't I go to graduation or prom? So stupid.
Did it like have your name on it, or did it just know?
No,
that
it had
was
my name
yours?
on it, Bebe Rexha, and I was like, shoot, I should have went to. I don't know. I was like such an anxious kid, and like I was like kind of like a loser. You know, I was like so uncool, and like I was like the music geek. You know, like not like music in my school wasn't like a cool thing. Like you were a nerd. You know.
Exactly.
So it is what it is, but.
Yeah. And I've heard you say a few times that, you know, if you weren't doing music, that you might like to like be a cook in your own restaurant or something, perhaps even Italian food, which you're quite fond of. Ironically, however, wasn't it actually in Italian class when you first got the news that you were officially on deck for Black Cards with
Damn,
Pete Wentz?
you're really prepared. I like that.
I try.
Wow,
Thank
I
you.
like it. Really dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, I love cooking, so I feel like one day when I am tired and like retired and tired, I'm gonna open up a restaurant and I'm gonna have my dad run it with me because he is so fond of cooking and it's like his passion, and I love it too. It's so therapeutic. So I will definitely open an Italian restaurant one day. That is my goal. But yeah, when I was like a while back when I got my first record deal, and when Pete Wentz like first like founded me for the Black Cards, I was actually in Italian class when they called me and they were like, "Hey, do you want to do this side project with Pete Wentz?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I literally left the class and I never went back to college again.
Crazy.
And I don't know. I think I like failed music class because I never showed up because it was like half the way through the semester and I like never showed up and they failed me.
Dang. Well, hey, look at you now.
Yeah, I failed music theory. Look at me now.
Yeah, totally.
I'm getting paid.
And bring things full circle even more, you know, if we can call a spade here for a moment, it's my understanding that you had actually ended up being kind of like the diamond in the rough when they were originally looking for someone comparable to Rihanna of all people.
They had like when Pete, so Fall Out Boy obviously went on hiatus, and Pete was like just trying to find himself, and you know we all want to try something different, you know, like life is short, why not? So he was like, I'm gonna start a side group project, and he had went to like the UK and like auditioned all these chicks and had like 3 girls, and they all ended up being crazy or whatever it was, but they were looking for a Rihanna-esque type girl.
Yeah.
Which was funny. I think it was just like the vibe they were thinking of because it was like kind of reggae-esque music, whatever. And here I come, a girl from Staten Island.
Yeah, totally.
Which was like not what they were looking for. You know,
Exactly.
I'm not super white. I'm from Albania, so I consider myself more colored. No, I'm just kidding. But like I have more swag. But you know, here I came, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to be in the band?" I was like, "All right."
Yeah. I just found that kind of ironic with everything that ended up happening with Monster and
You're
everything
right.
else.
It's weird the way the world works.
Totally. Is there anything else you'd like people to know about Bebe Rexha?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's always like an awkward question when people ask you that. It's like, what do I say?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I strive for the perfect selfie.
Absolutely.
No, I don't know. I'm just excited for what the world's about to bring, and hopefully one day I am selling out Madison Square Garden and as a worldwide superstar, and you'll have that on camera.
Definitely.
So this was an awesome interview, and
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely. Best wishes with everything coming your way. Any final thoughts before we say goodbye?
Love yourself, because that's the only person that got your back in the end.
There you have it. Once again, I'm Damon Campbell, and this is Bebe Rexha. Thanks for watching.
Karmaloop.